Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Ryan Batzel, and welcome to my review of the HIKEit X9 throttle controller. First up is HIKEit mode. And now sport mode. And this is me taking off in eco mode. Okay, so we're in eco mode right now, intensity setting 9, and this is what it kind of feels like to drive. It's a very delayed throttle curve. Still though, you're gonna save a lot of gas in this mode, and honestly, if you got a nicely like an exhaust like I do, I find it helpful to drive in this mode when you're driving around police. You know, they won't draw attention to your car because, you know, the throttle curve's so slow and that, you know, it doesn't rev up so high. So if you're trying to hide from police, keep it on eco. All right, still in eco mode here. I'm actually at eco mode, intensity setting 0. So I'm showing you the highest setting and then the lowest setting, and I'll give you like a middle. Okay, so now giving it a little pull. It's still that little delay, but it's like a perfect amount of delay. In my opinion, I would drive on eco maybe 0 to 2 or 3, realistically. 9 is a little bit too much for me. But, you know, saving some gas and keep those revs down to keep away from the prying eyes of police. All right, so on Eco 5 now, hitting the gas. Actually, you know what? Eco 5 is a good middle. 9 was way too intense, and the lower one was, you don't really notice that much. But on 5, it's a really good middle ground, and honestly, I kind of like it. All right, we're on HIKEit mode right now, intensity setting 9, and this is what it feels like to do a pull in the car. So as you can tell, it's very touchy. Very fun to drive, but it's very, very touchy. You know, it's 45 here, so I'm not going too fast, but I feel like this would be very useful at the track, or you're on a racetrack, you know, trying to get those autocross and stuff. You know, be very helpful there, but, you know, just driving down the street in the middle of the day, probably not the best idea. You'll draw a lot of attention, and also it's really bad for your gas. So I'll give you an example of me driving on HIKEit setting 0 now. All right, so now we're on HIKEit setting 0, and this is what the pulls sound like when you're, let me take a left here real quick. So HIKEit 0, this is what the pulls sound like. And here we go. So right off the bat, you still have that throttle curve of the HIKEit mode, which I do like. However, it's more relaxed than HIKEit setting 9, which is very touchy. I would probably use this more on the road, realistically. Obviously, HIKEit setting 9, you're gonna not want to drive that around in traffic. It's more for the track and stuff. You know, HIKEit setting 0, I can see myself driving in traffic with HIKEit setting 0. Definitely. All right, here we go. This is HIKEit setting 5. I'm giving you the high, HIKEit setting 9, the low one, HIKEit setting 0, and now here we're on HIKEit setting 5. This will give you the middle ground. All right, so here's a little pull. So you definitely have a little bit more acceleration. The touchiness level is up, but it's not at the level where it was at HIKEit setting 9, obviously. It's a little bit more relaxed, but not as relaxed as 0. I actually do kind of like this. I don't know if I'd drive it in traffic though, so it's still a little bit touchy. You know, I was actually driving around on HIKEit setting 9, looking like an idiot driving around there, jolting around. So, you know, I would probably drive in traffic up to level 3 or 4. Okay, we're on sports setting right now. I'm on the intensity level 9. Let's give it a shot. All right, so you definitely see that good intense throttle curve that I like for a sports setting, but it's not as touchy as the HIKEit setting. And also when you rev it up a lot, I feel like it's not gonna give you that the straight up throttle curve. It's gonna come up and then kind of give it off a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit, because it's you know, it's not track mode. It's more like a sport plus mode. But we're on level 9 right now, and you know, the touchiness level is pretty responsive. You know, it's not at the level where it's too responsive like on HIKEit. So I could definitely drive this around in traffic and still have some fun. Let's give level 0 a try. Okay, we're on setting 0 right now. Let's give it a shot. So you definitely notice it's kind of the same, obviously the same throttle curve. It's a sport setting, but of course the throttle timing is not as fast. The responsiveness is a little bit slower. You know, throttle kicks in a little bit slower, but very minute. But yeah, so I could definitely, obviously, drive this around in traffic. Sport mode would be very fun. Personally, for me, I would like a little bit more touchiness. The 0 is a little bit too low for me. All right, we're at intensity level 5 now for the sports setting, and let's give it a shot. All right, that's more like it, right? The 9 one is actually pretty nice, but the 5 is a good middle ground, honestly. You know, it's obviously, like, it's a 5, it's going to be in the middle, not as touchy as level 9, but not as slowed as level 0. This is a really good one. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite settings right now. Level 5 sport. It's just good for driving around, you know, having a good joyride. Driving around town, windows down, a good time. I would go for sport level 5. So a little bit of feedback on how the device operates itself. You've got only 3 buttons, so it's not really hard to mess up. You know, 1 mode button and 2 arrow buttons. You know, obviously to change the intensity. And right now, that's Sport 5, man. That's Sport 5. Anyways, the mode changing is very easy. You know, you won't get lost in the modes. If you go past one real quick, it's very easy to go back through. There's not like 20 different modes. There's like just a couple. I think there's like 8. Very easy to switch through them, and once you're in them, it's very easy to change the intensity. Very easy to use device, and very easy to install too. I showed you how to do that. It took me like 5 to 10 minutes to install, really. I definitely recommend buying this. You know, you can get it for very cheap. I sure did. And yeah, I definitely would recommend going for it. Shout out Derrick Aquino, man, posting this on his channel. Go link to my channel. It'll be posted on Ryan Batzel. And yeah, go from there, man.